All right, so I've got to do a quick poll with the audience before we get into this next segment. If you're a dog lover, raise your hand. Okay, good. If you're a cat lover, raise your hand. Okay, you did both. You're like, I like both. I love that. You're like, both is fine with me. Okay, so the dog lovers are more in abundance here in the house, so that's great because for this next segment, we're actually having our Canine companions join us, and we're going to have our NADA Foundation auction results. If you're familiar, every year we do an auction for our Canine companions. There they are. They're coming up front. So every year we do an auction for our Canine companions, and it's always a great thing. We get a lot of awes, so you can feel free to go ahead and do all the awes. I'd like to welcome up with me Annette Sequoia as well, so we can talk about the auction results and the why behind doing this. And don't worry, if you're a cat lover, still hang out and stick around, right? Don't leave just because you like cats better than dogs, right? We don't have a feline companion just yet. But we do the auction, and the auction is great because it gives an opportunity. It's just another philanthropic arm of NADA, always looking to be active in the community and help raise not only funds but also awareness for great organizations that do really solid work within the community. And so we have a few of our Canine companions here. Do we want to take some time to introduce not only ourselves but our Canine companions as well? All right, please take us away.
Awesome. Okay. Hi, I'm Chandler Stokes. I'm the Puppy Program Manager for Canine Companions in the South Central region. I oversee Texas, Oklahoma, Louisiana, and Arkansas in their puppy program. So every dog in yellow that has from 8 weeks to 18 months. This is Snickers over here laying down with me. She is a 17-month-old female golden retriever. She is my 10th puppy to raise for Canine Companions, and she's a little tired right now. But I oversee all the puppies here in yellow within prison programs, high school programs, college programs, which we have 2 of us sitting in the audience today, and then also in the community as well too. Canine Companions is the largest national nonprofit service dog organization. We cover all 50 states, and we cover all of these states with our volunteers and our campuses. So we have 6 campuses nationwide, and we have 1 field rep office in Seattle, Washington. So we cover all those 50 states with our campuses in Santa Rosa, California, San Diego, California, Medford, New York, Orlando, Florida, Irving, Texas, and then near Columbus, Ohio. I always forget that town over there. So sorry, Ohio. And we have about 900 active puppies in training right now within our 50 states. In our 4 states, we have about 140-ish, give or take. And so what it takes to raise a Canine Companions dog is, 1, a lot of love, right? So these dogs start with our volunteers at 8 weeks old, where they start as a tiny little puppy that was bred by our national departments, as well as loved by our breeder caretakers too, who start the training at that little tiny age. If you don't believe puppy raising starts at the moment the dog is born, you're lying. This starts from the moment they're born into these breeder and caretaking homes where they start to learn to be an active service dog. And so when they get into our raisers at 8 weeks old, it's not very easy, right? They're not sleeping through the night. They're having accidents. And our raisers are taking them from this 8-week-old puppy with very limited skills upon them, and they're turning them into 35 commands at 18 months old of age before they enter professional training. And so it is amazing what our volunteers do. They do this at the kindness of their heart, and they also do this for our clients as well today. And so I always say that our program is built into 3 parts. We breed, raise, and train our own dogs before they meet our service dog users as well. And so when we breed our dogs, we have a national department in California where we have statistics and all these skills needed and temperaments and medical tests done to our dogs before they're allowed to be a part of our breeding colony. It's pretty cool if you're into genetics. We go back all the way to 1990. So if I look up Snickers right now in our profile, I can pull up her great-great-great-great-great-grandpa and kind of figure out who I've raised related to this dog. Pretty cool if you're into that. And so once our breeding department breeds these dogs, they are looking for the best temperament possible. They're trying to create the best dog moving forward. We're growing with each generation of our dogs. And so when they get into our our puppyhood, and then these raisers train them, and so they're that training part lasts the longest part. That lasts about 24, or that raising part lasts about 18 months. That 18 months is a long time coming, right? You're doing this to prepare them best as possible for a future client. And so our future clients are going to take them everywhere with them, right? This is their new lifeline. Our puppy raisers are now making them their new sidekick. And so Snickers here has accompanied me with 5 conventions. She has seen over 80,000 people on a stage before. She has gone across all of the world with me in the last 8 to 10 months that I've had her. And so she's a cool program dog. She was actually a prison dog at one point. And so she was in one of our federal prison programs here. And then I broke her out. She got to be released with me. And we have taken on life together. And so I know in 2 weeks when I turn her over into professional training, I'm giving her the best foot forward. And that's what us puppy raisers are doing. We're putting all of our might into this dog so one day someone can live a more independent lifestyle. And so that raising part ends at matriculation. It's the saddest time for the puppy raisers where they're handing over the leash to a professional trainer. We have about 8 professional trainers training dogs to match this next year. And so they're training these dogs every day, gearing them up for about 10 to 25 extra commands. So if you're keeping count of that, that's about 45 commands that these dogs know by the time that they graduate. And that's just the baseline. That is just the original ones we're teaching when they're getting ready to add more to them, when they add them to their everyday life as a graduate. And so our trainers work hard for about 6 to 9 months, and they train these dogs to get ready to match with their future candidate. And so you might think like, oh, we're matching people with dogs. We must be really good at like matchmaking, right? And humans, not so much. We're great at human dog, human, not so much, right? And so when we are inviting people to team training, we have about 2 to 3 dogs ready for that client that we invited. And so when you think of like, who are we inviting off our waiting list? We kind of have a really cool like circle group talk conversation, and the trainers are saying, I think this person needs this dog. And then all of them are fighting around the board thinking they have the best dog. And so when team training starts, it's kind of like a duel of that with our trainers thinking they have the best dog for someone, which is so nice to hear as well. And so I'm going to pass it to Amanda here in a second and talk about her team training experience where she was invited to team training when we thought we had a dog ready for her. And she came into team training, which we host them on our campus for about 2 weeks. In that 2 weeks that they're learning everything they need to know about this dog and how to use this dog in public and how to grow her skills to live in your life and live more independently. And so I'm going to pass it on to Amanda with her service dog, Glamour.
Hello, my name is Amanda. This is my service dog, Glamour. She's quite tired, as you see. She actually came to me 3 years ago. She's 5 years old, and I went through the whole process of filling out the application. I had to do some interviews, went on the waiting list, and then got that wonderful call that, guess what, we have availability. You get to come to team training. Went through the process, got matched with her, and I can't say any other dog was a more perfect match than she was. She immediately just lunged at me, and I was like, okay, that's my dog. She helps me in so many ways every day, from pulling the laundry basket, which is a big thing if you're in a wheelchair. You know, trying to lift a laundry basket from one room and carrying it to another is a very pretty difficult task, especially if it's a pretty full laundry basket. I just literally put a rope on it. She tugs it all the way across the house, and she does it with such speed that she usually gets there before I get there. And her teeth start chattering like, oh my gosh, where's my treat? I just did something so good, so happy. She opens doors. She knows how to do the push buttons, those little handicap push buttons. So if my hands are full, she can easily push those. We go to PetSmart. I end up letting her pick out her own toy, and she carries it out of the store herself in her bag. So she does her own little things. A few of the things, I'll show you some demonstrations. Glamour, stand. Good girl. Sometimes my hands may be full or something, and the leash may fall off my hand, and I'm like, uh-oh, I can't get it. So, Glamour, stand. Uh-oh. Glamour, leash. Okay, give. Good girl.
So right there, I don't have to worry about trying to bend down to the ground to get that, because if you're in a wheelchair, that's very hard. Another common thing, what most of us always drop, are phones. Almost everybody in here has dropped a phone. Glamour? Uh-oh. Can you get it? It's way over there. Can you get it for me? All right, come here. Sit. Give. Good girl. So there's another prime example. So those are two things right there. I have issues, as you can see, I have a trach. So I have issues with breathing at times. So they're given a command to know how to speak. They will not bark unless they are told how to actually bark. And that's given the command of speak. In my situation, if I can't, in my situation, I can't actually, when this trach is off, I can't say the words speak. So I had to alter the way I did this to her. These dogs are such sponges that you can literally change and teach them new ways of doing things. So I'm going to demonstrate that for you for an example. Good girl. So I never had to actually say the words, whereas normally you would have to say it. All I have to do is that, and that lets her immediately notify my husband, who may be in the other room, that I'm having an issue and I need him to immediately come to me. So those are just a few of the tasks that she helps me with almost on a daily basis. So without Canine Companions, I would not have the independency I have now. I was at a point where I didn't really have, I was in a deep depression stage, and I was at my wit's end on knowing what to do. But since I now have her, I now have my own bakery business. And I am doing weddings. I'm doing all kinds of stuff because I feel I have that independency. She gives me actually the hope. I don't feel loneliness anymore. She gives me hugs. I have a command for hugs. So she gives me hugs, and, you know, the snuggles are probably the absolute best part at the end of the day, is just getting all of those snuggles. So, yes, I cannot thank Canine Companions enough. And if anything I can say to any of you about Canine Companions is, if you can find a way, if volunteer, donate, or even just sharing about Canine Companions to others would be the biggest way to help spread the word about what this company does to help people like me gain the independency back.
And we give all of our dogs away free of charge to our clients. So we are a nonprofit through and through. So everybody that does receive a dog from us, it is free, and they do come to our campus and live there for 2 weeks for free as well.
That's phenomenal. That's phenomenal. And again, another round of applause. All right, so should we tell them the number? Should we tell them the number? You ready?
I think we should.
We should tell them the number?
Yes.
So this year, NADA and everyone has helped raise $88,335. It's amazing. So again, we can't say enough. We do this every year. It's always exciting. I want to thank you for coming. Thank you for sharing and walking us through the process. I had no idea that there was so much that goes into the process of getting ready for the dogs to do their work and to be able to serve. So it's amazing.
Yeah, it takes a village out there.
Yeah, and thanks for being part of that village.
Thank you for being here. Thank you for bringing us.
Wonderful. Once again, ladies and gentlemen, give a round of applause for Canine Companions. And again, $88,335,000. I want you to remember that number because we're going to try to do more next year, all right? So keep that in mind. We're going to go $90,000 next year. We're going to keep increasing it, all right? So great job. Thanks for all those that donated. And if you, like you mentioned, if you want to donate and you missed out this year, you have the opportunity, Canines for Companions. Make sure that you reach out, find out more information. Even if you can't volunteer, then you can donate. If you can't donate, you can volunteer. Just get involved, all right?
If you need any information, I have information as well, too.
All right, wonderful. Thanks again.